In this video we'll take a look at resistance to fatigue and how it affects a unit that has this trait compared to a unit that doesn't have it. So on the Pyramids, a very hot map, we're going to be running these Celtic youths up against the Naked Warriors, and you can see that their speed is roughly the same. It's exactly the same. So what we're going to look at is at what point their fatigue level drops to active, and you can see the Celtic youths and the Naked Warriors become active at exactly the same time. Now they're not running in a perfectly straight line here, so the Naked Warriors are actually outpacing the Celtic youths ever so slightly. They are very fast after all. They both reach the winded status at the exact same time. And we're going to have to turn them around. They reach. These guys are tired now. These guys are only winded. Both are tired. Now we're going to turn them around and run them the other way. And the Celtic youths are tired. The Naked Warriors are tired. The Naked Warriors are outpacing the Celtic youths ever so slightly. It's not a huge difference, but it is noticeable. Now the Naked Warriors are very tired. The Celtic youths are very tired. So in this, and I've seen this before, I just wanted to make a short video of it. At roughly the same time, they are going to reach the different levels of fatigue. The Celtic Warriors reach the higher levels of fatigue a bit slower than the Naked Warriors. But what interests me here is that the speed differential. What I'm looking for here is the speed differential. So a 20% exhausted units are going to have a 20% reduction in their speed. This unit is not resistant to fatigue. This unit has a resistance to resistant to fatigue, but it says that fatigue has less of an effect of this unit. Notice that it doesn't say that this unit fatigues slower than the other unit, and that is sort of a meaningless comparison anyway, because I'm comparing light melee infantry to light missile infantry. But what I wanted to see here is if the resistance to fatigue allows the Celtic youths to keep their speed up better than it does for these Naked Warriors. It doesn't appear that it does. So the effects that remain for fatigue will be a negative effect to the reload rate, which doesn't matter much anyway, because a lot of the reload is tied up to the weapon used and not the unit itself, so it doesn't affect that. It's going to affect the melee attack, again not very important for the Celtic youths, very important for the Naked Warriors. But I'm just going to phrase this as a question. If the resistance to fatigue does not make a skirmish unit tire significantly slower than a non-skirmish unit, and if resistance to fatigue doesn't allow a skirmish unit to keep its speed up compared to a melee unit that is not resistant to fatigue, what good does the trait do? It doesn't increase speed. It doesn't significantly affect rate of fire. It doesn't affect rate of fire at all, actually. So what we're left with is melee attack and, of course, morale. Exhaustion is going to reduce the morale of units. But as you can see, they're not really helped by that either, because they're only steady because of their low morale, while these guys are still confident because of their much higher morale. So what good is the resistant to fatigue trait? This is an open question. Feel free to discuss it in the commentary. I'll be joining there for some discussion as well. But in my opinion, too much value is placed on this trait, because in terms of in-game performance, it doesn't really seem to do as much as you'd want it to do, compared to units that don't have the trait. Strength and honor.